applause to our performance. Do you know, Tony, I think that Bulgarians are very similar to Westerners.
How so?
Well, yesterday I stumbled upon very interesting pictures. We should take a look at them.
Okay, let's do that.
So I figured out that Bulgarians are very practical.
Oh, yeah. We can fit everything anywhere. True.
Not only, but they're very artistic.
Only in Bulgaria can you find art in such extraordinary places. That's surprising.
And also, we're very well connected.
Best connections ever.
And we're free.
Oh. Yeah. You never get enough solar.
That is great.
We are very safety-oriented, very much.
Well, safety first, guys. You know, there's always someone to help in this situation.
Very safe indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, we're very senior presentations.
Captain Sarcastic.
Okay, so now let's take it seriously. We have a schedule to keep up with.
Okay, without further ado, let's introduce our next contestant. Who would want to take place for the third word? Menika?
Come on stage.
Come on, Menika.
It will be great, I promise you.
Okay, so yeah, what's your name?
And where do you come from?
Sri Lanka.
Nice. So, have you heard anything way over there about Bulgaria? Well, you're here to learn, so this is a good thing.
Okay, so now let's start. You can come over there so that you can see better if you want. So you're playing for word number 3. And this is... Ready to hear? Be careful. This is a traditional Bulgarian ritual to scare away evil spirits with costumed men performing the ritual.
Well, that's kind of our most difficult question up to this point. So, do you want to throw a wild guess, or do you want a hint? Okay, so now, we'll give you a hint.
So, you can sit on the chair on our throne, and Benny is going to present to you something about our customs and traditions.
Okay, hello everybody. Before I even begin with my presentation about customs and traditions, I would like to show you a rather old custom that we don't do anymore, but it's quite interesting. So let's take a look at how guys used to get girls like 100 years ago or something.
My friends, come, let's hear our here and show salad. Okay.
This is too much.
What?
Look at this mess, man.
Man, it's okay. It's just soup. You have a cup and
My friend, you need a wife. So, which one did you like best?
And the thing is, I like Marika the most, man. She has the best smile and it's so beautiful. She's amazing. And she's very tidy. No. Okay, let's go meet her on the way. Here, and we begin this funeral.
Well, that was well.
Being life wasn't so easy after all.
It was a good plan, but it didn't work. So I guess now you should help me clean up this this mess.
Okay, so in this case it rather didn't work out, but you can say that that's how a guy should get a girl. He'll just steal her if her parents wouldn't let him marry her. So now let's begin with the Bulgarian customs and traditions that I want to show you. First of all, I'd like to clarify that we have a lot of pagan traditions as well, not only Christian, and that's due to the historical factors that influenced our development. But some are interesting, and we still do them. Okay, first of all, we start following the seasons, and we begin with spring. And here we begin with the kukeri. And those guys are the guys who scare away the evil spirits while being dressed in cheap garments and other masks and copper bells, which are called chanove. And let's take a better look at how that works. Rather scary, no? So yeah, from there on we continue with spring, and you have what's called Baba Marta, and this is also popular in Romania and Greece. So we're not the only ones walking around with red and white pieces of thread on our hands, on our clothes, and throughout March. Why we do that? It's to bring some, it symbolizes purity, well-being, health, and it's one of those pagan traditions that I mentioned. How do you get rid of those stuff? You wait to see a stork or a blooming tree, and then you put the red and white thing on the blooming tree, and it's bringing luck and health and so on throughout the year. Next we have the maidens on St. Lazarus Day. Those are beautifully dressed girls walking around in those costumes, such as what I'm wearing. And they go from one house to the next house, and they sing and perform dances, and they're called lazarki, and the whole ritual is called lazaruvane. And in return from the host, they get some small charms, flowers, and also eggs to paint for the coming Easter. And here we get to Easter, which is 1 week after the lazaruvane. We call it Veliden, which literally means a great day. And we have the traditional painted eggs and those breads, which are sweet, and they're called kuzunak. There is a funny thing we do with the painted eggs, and it's basically fighting with the eggs. So two people take like 2 eggs, and they like whichever egg is stronger, this guy or girl wins the fight. Like whatever egg doesn't break. Okay, we move on and we quickly go through winter already. And this is the night before Christmas, so Christmas Eve, which in Bulgarian we say Badni Večer. And on that night we have those guys which are here, Koledari, and they're Christmas carolers. And this time they're guys who walk from house to house and sing songs and bring luck and health for the new year. Additionally, on Christmas Eve, we prepare meals which are without meat, and the whole meal should consist of 3, 7, 9, or 12 meatless dishes, as I said. And yeah, then only then we want to wait for Santa and get our presents and so on. Okay, and then we get to the New Year, a week after that. And then you have another ritual which is performed on the 1st of January by younger boys this time. And they again walk from house to house to house and they sing songs. And they carry those rods which are decorated with some popcorn, for example, or other dried fruit and so on. And you can see the guy over there in the corner, he's carrying one of those things. And those younger boys are called sovakari. Okay, another thing which is very special for New Year's Eve is a pastry dish called banica. And it's not only the food, but also the lucky charms that go with it that we really like about New Year's Eve. The pastry otherwise consists of eggs and cheese. And whatever lucky charm you pick, it's gonna go together with you throughout the new year. Okay, and we move on. Now that we are through with the year, I wanna show you quickly this ritual which is called nestinarstvo. It's not very often performed now, but it's something unique that's only exists in the very southeast of Bulgaria nowadays. Also a tourist attraction at the current time. But it's a very old pagan tradition, and as you see, it's basically people dancing on fire and on those smoldering embers. So they get into a certain form of trance, and under the sounds of traditional Bulgarian instruments, they dance on the fire directly. Okay, we move on, and we have a lot of holidays. And maybe you've heard us say to each other Happy Name Day, which in Bulgarian sounds different, of course, so you might not recognize it. But those follow from some religious holidays, and which are dedicated to saints, of course. And for some of them, we have special customs as well. For example, on the 6th of December, guys with the names of Nicola, for example, over there, celebrate. And on this day, we eat always a fish dish. On the 6th of January, a month later, guys with the name Jordan celebrate, and girls as well. And the interesting thing about this is, like, no matter how cold it is, they throw a cross in the river. And whoever gets the cross out of the river from the ice cold water, he's gonna be the strongest and the healthiest throughout the year. The usual story. Okay, and on the 6th of May, several months later, it's when Georgi celebrates, or George. And on that day, you always eat lamb. And it's also the day when the Bulgarian army celebrates its holiday. Okay, and all those red circles on the calendar are all those holidays we celebrate throughout the year. Okay, so that basically adds up to 1/3 of the year. And yes, we do work on most of them. We're not as lazy as to not work on all of them, but some are real holidays. Okay, and now we move ahead, and I want to share with you some common superstitions from Bulgaria. they're a bit funny, some of them, but for example, the one on the top, knocking on top of the table, summons the devil, according to Bulgarians. You might ask Agne about it, she has already personal experience with it. Other than that, like for example, when your right arm itches, then you should get some money and stuff like that. Also, don't eat your Bulgarian friend's first candy because this means you're gonna steal their boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. Yeah. Okay. Another thing we do is say happy haircut. We might have said that to some of you. Don't find it weird, just the way we do it. It's an old thing, but it's quite funny for some. Okay, and whenever you sneeze, but that's more like of a 5th grade girl thing. We don't do it on common basis. So whenever you sneeze, you get a 3-digit number. You add the numbers together, and you get a letter from the alphabet. And a person whose name starts with that letter is thinking of you. Yeah. And last, I want to mention this custom which we do for little kids. It's called proshtabuni. And it's whenever a kid starts walking, you perform this, and the parents arrange a bunch of items. It can be anything on the ground, and whatever item the kid picks, that's kind of destining their future, and that's what they're going to become in the future. For example, if I personally don't remember what I picked, but let's say it was a book, and then I would be like really smart. Okay, and now you're gonna see a bit more about those superstitions I mentioned earlier.
Have you heard the names?
Maybe you're gonna see it, maybe.
Okay, ich bin bekannt.
Yeah, you say that.